Hello everyone, welcome back to Lovely Lavender Wishes. It's Renee and I hope you're having a very blessed day. Hopefully a blessed beginning to 2023, better than mine. I am hoping for all of you. Welcome. We are going to be in Ephesians today and I'm actually going to be focusing on Ephesians 5 verses 15. Now I am imitating a page that Minnie Toombs did over in Bible Journaling Tips and Tricks. It's a Facebook group. She combined some printables that she had from Diane Noble over in Embracing God's Word. And I think that printable was called In That Day, Redeem the Time, these little flowers. She also used some printables that she got, like some clock printables. These are from Vectoria Designs, but I think they posted these as a printable, a free printable in Bible Journaling Tips and Tricks. If not, if you don't have this exact printable, just Google clock images or vintage clock images, because I did that and I got some of these other really cool vintage clock images that I already cut out. So, you know, you just got to kind of Google and you'll find stuff. So use what you have around the house or just Google free images, clip art, whatever it may be. Or if you don't want to use clocks, don't use clocks. Use flowers, use watches, I don't know. You can use napkin decoupaging. You can use magazine images, whatever you have. You can take pictures. If you wear a watch, take pictures of your watch and, you know, download that. Do whatever you want. You know, it's all about being creative and using what you have. So that being said, thanks, Minnie Toombs, for this inspiration, because I'm going to pretty much, I think, almost copy your page, if I can remember it correctly. I'm sure it'll look a little different. But I really liked it and it really hit me. So let's read. It says, look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise. Oh, I need to be wiser. Making the best use of the time because the days are evil. Now, this is what's really catching me right now, making the best use of the time. As I've told you all in previous videos, I think I went through like a kind of a midlife crisis recently. Wondering, you know, like, what am I doing with my life? What kind of impact am I making on anyone, if anyone? You know, did I make an impact on my son, my husband, my friends, you all, anybody? And, you know, I'm kind of been going through a lot of medical stuff lately, and I feel like I really haven't been able to do much personally. I haven't been able to get out. I'm in hospitals or doctors or at home recovering and resting a lot. So like, I feel like lately that the time is kind of passing me by and I'm really not doing much with it. And it's been kind of wearing on me a little bit. So that's kind of what this page is signifying to me. Like, am I making the best use of my time? And I know right now God has me in a resting time and I'm struggling with that, y'all. I'm struggling with not being as active as I usually am. I'm struggling with not being able to just get up and go like I used to. And so I'm having an issue with that. So I'm probably going to do another page on be still and rest in the Lord. I'm going to do a study on that because I really need it personally right now. But just making the best use of the time. So I'm hoping that I can make use of my rest time now and make good use of that time. Maybe, you know, I know God has me here for a reason. And so, you know, I got to figure out what that is. And it continues on. It says, therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. That's what I'm trying to understand right now. What is the will of the Lord? Lord, I need your help. And then it just goes on. So you can continue reading it, but that is what I'm focusing on right there. Look carefully how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. Now, Ephesians is essentially a book on how to live the Christian life. I mean, there's so much in here. So if you haven't read Ephesians, I really encourage you to do it. Now, some people think that Paul wrote Ephesians because it says, you know, this is a letter from Paul. But I guess over the years, some people kind of were questioning that. It says, Paul, an apostle of Christ, to the saints of Ephesus. I guess some people over the years questioned it, said maybe Paul didn't write it, but maybe perhaps his student Timothy wrote it. and he was giving credit to Paul, which was another common practice in the day. I mean, who knows, but it's either Paul or Timothy, I guess, according to the experts. You know, don't ask me. I'm going with what the experts say. But it's a book all on how-tos and how to live the Christian life. And I have this book. Let me show you real quick. I love this book. It's The Complete Guide to the Bible by Stephen M. Miller. It's got these gorgeous pictures in it, you know, and maps. And I really love books like that because it kind of helps me put everything into perspective and kind of puts me there. And look at this gorgeous picture here of Ephesus. It says here, the highway to nowhere. It once was the third largest city in the Roman Empire. Ephesus died after silt plugged up the riverside port that led to the sea. From the amphitheater here above, where Ephesians once rioted in protest of Paul, so you can read that in Acts 19, a wide road led to the river port. Look at this wide road. And I guess it led to the river port. But today, all the action in this ghost town comes from tourists like those visiting what's left of the city library, which is this. Look at that. Look at that facade right there of the library. Wouldn't that have been gorgeous back in the day? Like when I see pictures like this, I'm just like, wow, I would have loved to walk in the days of Jesus, just to kind of see how everything looked not in ruins. You know what I mean? If I can go back in time, there's so many time periods that I would love to go back to, Renaissance time being one of them. Love the Renaissance. The 1950s, I would love to go to, Jesus's day, so many things that I would love, Egyptian, you know, which was kind of around Jesus's day. I would just have loved to have seen what it looked like in its heyday, you know? So this is where Ephesus is located. So it's in Turkey, and it's this little spot here, and then the map, you know, enlarged is here. So there's Laodicea, Philadelphia, Thyatira. I'm probably not saying that right. Pergamum, Smyrna, and Ephesus. So here's Ephesus. It's right there on the port. So it would have been a really bustling major city. And it says it was the third largest city in the Roman Empire. I mean, that's huge. But now look at it. It's dead. It's full of tourists. But I love looking at maps and looking at pictures like this because it really kind of takes me to the spot. But Ephesians is all about God's new chosen people, how he united the Jews and Gentiles into one, about living in peace with each other. It talks about being mature in the Lord, what husbands and wives are supposed to do, life in a Christian home, and it goes on. So if you have not read Ephesians, I really, really encourage you to. But so let's get crafting. So I did gesso the page. You know, I just do it. It's just a habit now. I'm going to roll my sleeves up. I'm going to use Tim Holtz Vintage Photo Distress ink and the Tim Holtz, whatever this is, stencil. Y'all, my vocabulary is completely left me. And I am just going to stencil, hopefully, some of these flowers onto the page. Looks like they're going to be a little light. It looks like my ink, all my ink seems to be, I've been using it so often that it's kind of like drying up at this point, but I'll have to get some new pads. So let's just put some flowers and printables or images around. Now, all my clocks and stuff are going to be here in the middle, so I probably really don't need to do any kind of stenciling in the middle, and a lot of this might even be covered up with that, but you know, we'll see what we can, you know, get out on here. And I'm gonna have some kind of come out and onto the next page even. That's another little trick that I like, is continuing it onto the other page so it doesn't look like it just stops on the edge here. It continues on, and even just by putting just a little bit onto the page, see, just like that, it makes the picture seem bigger. And when you have it like going off the page as well, like this, here, we'll have this kind of flow off the page. It tricks your eyes into thinking that the image continues on and the page seems a lot bigger than it actually is. I mean, does that make sense, y'all? Okay, I keep these little pieces. Ooh, pretty. And let's just do a few more. We'll have this one coming out from the bottom. Cute. We'll have this little leaf. Coming up there. I'm just going to put some more in different areas. And like I said, it's probably going to get covered up. But even if a little bit of it is peeping out, it's all good. Okay, let's put some on this page. So I'm going to flip it over. And there's no rule that says you have to use, I'm going to clean this off though first so I don't get ink on the page. There's no rule that says you have to use a stencil the right side up. So, you know, flip your stencils over, flip them upside down, you know, whatever works for you. You know, sometimes we get so ingrained into like, oh, this is the top, this is the front, use it this way. You don't have to. Flip it over if you want. I'm going to flip it because I like it to be coming out of the side that way. So I'm going to do this. See? Cute. Let's see. We'll have this one right there. I want that leaf to come up there. Oh, and let's see. I'll just have this one kind of peeping out from the edge of the page again. Trick your eye into thinking it continues. I think that'll be good. That should be good for that. If I need to add more, we can always add more. So I'm gonna move that to the side. And I'm just gonna spray this real quick. Again, the beautiful thing about Distress ink is you can just spray your stencil with water and voila, it comes off right away. I do have gesso on this stencil that I need to scrape off one of these days. See, but one day, one day I'll really clean it real well. It's not bothering me at this point. Okay. Okay, so now what do I want to do? I think I am going to just start really figuring out where I want to put all these pieces first. And then I'm going to do, well, you know what? First I want to do this. Okay, let's go back. Okay, I'm going to grab my gesso. This is just some white gesso. I have my glass little piece here. I'm gonna add my gesso. Actually, I'm gonna add my ink first. So these flowers have like this pinkish peach, and I didn't have a peach ink. So I have this pink one, which is pink carnation from Close to My Heart. I got a whole bunch of inks off of, I think it was either in a garage sale or off of, what is it, Facebook Marketplace. So if you're ever looking for great deals, Facebook Marketplace is a great one, as well as garage sales, y'all. And then this one is exclusive inks called Taffy, Close to My Heart. It's more of a brown, I think. So I'm going to try to combine the pink and brown. We'll see what happens. Ugh. These pads aren't the best to do that with, but, and then I'm gonna combine it with my gesso here. I'm just gonna do a little bit of gesso because you don't really need a lot. And hopefully we'll see if we can get like a peach color to come out of this. And you can, I wish I had like a spray or something even more, but okay, we'll just keep adding color until we get what we need. Hang on, I'll put that there. Sorry, y'all. I know it's annoying, that sound. I mean, it's getting to be like a peachy type color. But I do want some brown streaks as well. So I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more here. Just a little bit. Yeah, this is too light. Let me see if I can find some of my sprays. You know, trial and error, trial and error. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can grab some of my sprays. Got this whole big thing of sprays and such. Let me see what I have here. Is this the one with all my sprays? Distress sprays. Oh, what is this? Gathered twigs. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, we got that one. Let's see what that would be. Again, just fool around with what you got. See how it all works. It's all trial and error. Okay, well, there's a brown, which I like. Okay. Oh, I got this spun sugar. I guess we can... I'll give it a pinker color, I guess. And there we go. So I'm gonna have this pinkish and this brown. Okay, let me move this. Whew. Okay. So now I'm gonna take it, and I'm actually gonna kind of combine it a little bit. And lightly smear it onto the page. Want some more browns. This will give you texture. Also, it's giving you that distressed look. Again, I'm not putting hardly any in the middle because my printables will be going there, so. Okay, and then I'm gonna move this over so you all can see what I'm gonna do on this side. I'm gonna do the same thing. Just get it. Put some up at the top here. Just a little bit. Let's have some coming from the very top here. A little bit more pink. And somewhere over here. Let's just put it everywhere, shall we? Might as well. I got it. Let's use it. I love that look. I don't know why. I just love that look. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe this off, and I am going to keep this because I'm gonna use some on the top of the printable. So I'm gonna push this to the side, but we're gonna go back to it. So keep whatever you have left. You know, never let anything go to waste. Okay, let's dry this part. And it'll take it a little longer to dry in the thicker areas. Just keep going back to it. This part up here is bugging me, so I want it to kind of flow off the page. So we're gonna push it up more. If I can get it to work. Come on. There we go. Okay. One of my favorite combinations is pink and brown, whether it be like a really dark brown and a light bright pink. And for those of you who haven't seen a tour of my craft room, my walls are the top part of my walls are bright pink. And then I have like a white, what are those called? Chair rails around. And then the bottom half of my wall is like a chocolate brown. Everyone who walks into my house is like, oh my gosh, you've got pink walls. I'm like, yep, bright pink in my craft room. I love it. I love the combination of pink and brown. So for those of you who haven't seen a tour of my craft room, I mean, it's changed over the years, but I think on my YouTube channel, Lovely Lavender Wishes, you can go check a tour of my craft room and see the color of the walls. But yeah, that's one of my favorite combinations is pink and brown. This is a little lighter brown, more distressed. And these flowers are more peachy, I guess, but I mean, it kind of matches, kind of. Okay, we're gonna have to let some of these, they're bubbling up a little, but that's okay. Gives me more texture. Normally, if I wasn't on camera, I would just let it air dry. But since we're on camera, I'm trying to force it to dry faster. But while it's doing that, I'm going to take my brushed corduroy. And I like using these. I like using these brushes for stencils, and I like using these brushes for edging, inking up the edges. So I'm going to just ink up these edges. Again, to give it the distressed look a little bit. And it helps my little pieces to kind of pop off the page. I find when I ink the edges, it does that. So. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't, but you know. It's gonna give it a little brown tinge. Let's do these. And again, I printed these on copy paper, just regular old thin paper. So it's a little harder to ink the edges when it's so thin versus like if you printed it on a heavier card stock. But I don't mind if I'm not getting every single little edge and corner. I just want to get that. Okay, that's still drying, so I want to wait a minute. So I guess we'll just keep inking these up. So I'm going to grab all my little printables that I cut out ahead of time. So I did fussy cut these out ahead of time because it's just easier. So you guys aren't watching me cut things. But I just have a bunch of clocks. And I'm thinking that's gonna go there. And then I grabbed some number stickers that I had. I was looking for some tags, number tags, and I know I have some, but I forgot where I put them. And so I was looking through my craft room and I could not find where they went. So I am going to improvise with some stickers that I have. So some number stickers, if you have any. This has got to dry right there too, so I'm just putting this down right now, and we'll figure out where we want to put everything. I mostly just need to go around these flowers. This is another way, if you have stickers with like white edges around them and you don't want to cut the white edges off, just go in with some ink and then it'll look like, you know, there's no white edges around it anymore. Or if it's too white, like here in the middle or whatever, you can go in with some ink and just kind of fade it out. And then it's not so white. Yay. These already have an edge on it, but I'll just kind of go over it with the ink real quick. I'm just kind of sticking things wherever and we'll figure it out. So the title here is Redeem the Time. Where did my timepiece go? Did I lose it? Oh, I put it back, or it fell off. Redeem the time. So maybe this is something that the Lord is speaking to you about. How are you using your time? Are you using it productively? I feel like lately I have not been using my time productively. I feel like I'm just constantly fighting something. So I feel like this has been a year of like wasted time for me. And I feel, I don't know, I guess a little bit guilty about it. I don't know if it's guilt per se, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm having a hard time and the time isn't working for me right now. It's working against me. I feel like time is working against me right now. Okay, this one cut off, so I need to put it somewhere where it's going to kind of get a little hidden. So it got cut off when I was printing it, so no biggie. We'll just kind of hide it. So I do use, even if things get cut off when I print them out, if I didn't size it the right way or whatever, or an oopsie happens or whatever, I'll still use the image. Just if it gets cut off on the side, put it off on the side of the page. If it gets cut off on that side, put it on the side of that page, you know. You could still use images if they're not complete images. Okay, I think those are most of my pieces. Okay, let's move that. Whew, it is hot. Oh, no, redeem. I forgot the word redeem. Hello. That's important. It's the title. Redeem. Okay, it's going to go somewhere up there. Okay, and then these are the stickers I have. Let me grab. They're kind of old. They're falling apart, but you know, I can still use a bunch of these. So I'm thinking of using maybe some of these bigger. Are these 2 pieces? Oh, I guess they are. Huh, didn't know that. We'll use a couple of these for in here, or maybe even some of these smaller ones. We can use some of those too. So we'll figure it out. Okay, so let's figure out where we want to put stuff and we can start gluing. I just want to make sure this is all dry. Not completely dry. Let's do this side. Okay. So I've got these flowers. See, these got cut off too. They were like a little corner piece. So I'm like, I'll still use it. I want this to kind of come off the page. So, and I'll cut the piece off. So I'm going to glue this. So it's kind of coming off the page. We'll have that right there. Maybe maybe that coming out like that. Uh-oh. Where did it go? Was this it? I don't even know. Or was it this bigger one? Maybe it was this bigger one. I don't know. I think I need a bigger one here. So we'll have that coming out kind of like that. We'll tuck that under. Like so. And then we'll glue this one. I'm going to have that kind of peeping out like that. Okay, then let's grab our scissors. And I'm going to trim this off corner of the page. So again, it's going to look like it's, see, continuing off the page. I'm going to grab my pink. Let's see, where are my pink? Sorry, y'all. Reaching across the table. Oops, hang on. Come on. Okay. So I got all my colored pencils, and I have them bunched up in colors like this with rubber bands. So if I look for pink, I can just grab it, and then here's all my pink options. And peaches. I'm going to grab this lighter pink, and I'm going to just underline this or color this a little bit. And then I might add, let's add a little bit darker pink, just to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. So I'm underlining verses 15 through 17 here. Okay, got that. And I'm wearing my pink shirt too. Goes with the whole thing. Okay, let's figure out where we want these. So I know for sure, so this one got cut off when I printed it as well, because I just printed the whole page and I resized it, so it got cut off at the bottom. So since it got cut off, I'm gonna just stick it right down here. So it looks like it's coming off the page. And then I don't even have to cut it. Perfect. Perfecto. And then maybe have that kind of peeping out. Let's see, right? Kind of like that. Maybe this one could kind of go under here, huh? Well, since it wants to go there, we're going to stick it there. It just went under there by itself. Apparently that's where it wants to be. So we will agree with that. Okay, I'll put the title in at the end, I think. So let's do the clock. I'll put some numbers in too, so it's Put that one there. Let me grab some of these numbers. We need to put something I'm gonna just pick random numbers. How about this 9? A bigger number. So let's tuck this one in kind of like so. So that one will go there. Let's see where else. Let's just grab this kind of distressed kind of 3. Might be a little too tiny. Well, we'll put them there. We'll have different numbers in different places. Okay, let's see. Where else? What else? Where do we want to put all this stuff? Maybe we'll put a black and white one here. And then a flower right there, perhaps. Okay. I don't know, y'all. No rhyme or reason. And then this guy will go right there, because that's apparently where he wants to be. I do love these clocks. So cute. And then let's do another big number right there. That we'll do a 2. And then let's see, do we want all these flowers right up there, maybe, perhaps something like this? Oh, but this one's got to be, oh, but I could put the title like right there perhaps and cover that. Okay, let's do that. Now, I know some people figure out their page and then put it on that wax paper or double stick paper or whatever, and then they put the whole thing down on the page. So they kind of like arrange it on like clear paper first, the clear wax paper or whatever it may be. I just do it like this. I do it the hard way. Of course, you all know the hard way. Renee is always the hard way. Let me see, will that fit? Yeah. But I kind of like doing it this way because it's just kind of like a, it's not all exactly planned, and it's just, you know, I just kind of go with my gut and go with where the pieces are leading me, and, you know. And if I did it again a different time, it would probably look completely different. Okay, let me figure out how I wanted this. I kind of want it. Some on the top, some underneath. We'll cut that piece off. Let's do another number or a couple numbers. Let's see. Let's do, we got a 9, we got a 3, maybe a 7. Just again, some random. Tuck that one there. And let's do, well, I don't want to do a 1, 2, 3. Let's do a 5. I just kind of want them random. I don't know why. Ah, all my stickers are sticking to each other. Hang on. Yeah, I'm sweating. Why am I sweating? We'll do that there. Okay, probably because I have the sweater on. Okay, I wonder if we can kind of tuck the under in some shape or form, maybe. And then redeem will kind of go like that. We'll tuck that there. I don't want them all right on the top, so let's tuck it under. Redeem gets tucked. Let's glue that. Let's maybe move it just a tad out so we can still see the and time. Maybe right about there. That's a little open space. It needs something. So we'll put that there. Redeem the time. Oh, pretty, pretty. Okay, let's cut this little piece off. Or I guess we could leave it. We can leave it going off the page. I mean, it might get a little, because it's just a little copy. I might leave that. I might get a little frayed as time goes by because it's a very thin piece of paper, but it's okay. I like that kind of sticking up there. Okay, so now with the rest of this, I'm gonna kind of go in and add some to the top, just a little bit. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Just to, again, add a little bit of texture and make it look a little bit more rustic. Some pink. Where's the pink? There we go. You can even go in with your fingers if you want. At this point, I'm like, might as well just go in with my fingers. Make it a little bit more frayed. I'll put some on the numbers. Let me smear that a little bit more. Some pink in there. I do like what the palette knife does. It gives you that kind of like, I don't know what this look is, but it's like a just like a piece by piece look. I don't know how to explain it. Y'all, again, it's just like this, like these little lines, these little, see, like that, and it kind of pulls it down. I just like that, versus your finger is going to give you more of a smoother look, if that makes sense. If you use your finger, like, you see, you smooth it out, versus the palette knife, if you hold it light, it's going to give you like this jagged look. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here and do a little bit on here as well. And I'm just using what's left of this stuff. I'm gonna put some, I need some more little pink. I'm almost out of my pink. And then if it's too much, just rub it off their finger, no biggie. Now that one was a lot. So I'm just gonna kind of scrape it off because I don't want all that. I want that clock to shine through. Okay. And there we go. There's our page, y'all. Ta-da! So now I'm a mess. So I'm gonna just let this dry. I could dry it, but since I glued things down, it would probably like play with the glue. So I'm just gonna let this just air dry, but redeem the time. So again, today we are in Ephesians 5, verse 15 through 17 about redeeming the time. And therefore do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. And I know right now I'm trying to figure out what the will of the Lord is for myself. Maybe he has me in a resting period for a reason. And, you know, so hopefully I could redeem the time that I am resting and figure out what it is he wants me to do right now. I am getting frustrated, but here we go, up close. Here we go. You can see the stenciling in the back, some of the texture in the back, and then some on the front. And then here's the side. Again, I just carried it over a little bit onto this page and carried the stenciling over a little bit so it looks like it's one complete page. But I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a very blessed day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.